How we doing, family? So in this video I really got an interesting topic. It's about, my bad, I got a text. It's really just about how the spirit does not care about physical illusions. So physical illusions such as your name, your skin color, the color of your eyes, if you got tattoos, jewelry, entertainment devices, what people think of you, whether that may be positive or negative, whatever, it's all perspective, right? The type of car you drive, the type of clothes you wear, the type of food you're eating. But I will say on that, the food that you're eating, food doesn't make sense to your spirit. But if you're flowing with your spirit, your avatar is going to want fruits, vegetables, nuts, juice, smoothies, whatever you want to eat. But about this topic that I'm speaking on today, that I'm just expressing my thoughts to you, to myself, really. I'm just talking to myself. But one example that I came up with was celebrities. Celebrities, the being behind the celebrity's costume isn't being themselves through the costume. And I say this because they aren't. You could say they're being themselves, but that's their ego is being themselves. The observation behind the costume is acting out this script that's been put onto them from their lower self, honestly, their lower self, because they allowed themselves to get into that situation. But now, moving on the same topic, but on a different perspective, people or beings in society that look up to celebrities, now this individual is now following an image that cannot keep up with itself, because this image is man-made, if you want to call it that. Now, it's not man-made, but it's artificial. It's an artificial image. And if you want to get really deep into it, you could say that, this is my thoughts. If you want to get really deep into it, you could also say that my image is artificial, but because I'm getting ahead of myself, and I'm saying that because what we reside in, what we think is physical isn't actually physical. It's just a reflection of what you think, or a reflection of your consciousness. So, speaking on that, they're not being genuine with themselves. The image that they portray is not genuine with themselves. So now you have individuals within society that aren't portraying themselves, they're not portraying their spirit, they're portraying their ego, because they're infatuated with physical illusions. They're infatuated with the money, they're infatuated with the women, they're infatuated with going to the clubs and everything that comes with that. The fancy cars, fancy clothes, designer clothes, and when you are genuine with yourself, when you are honest with yourself, when you move with love, when you move with honesty, authenticity, when you move with things that better yourself and better others, you're not here to fuck with people. You're not here to, well, fuck with people in the sense that you're not trying to step on no one. You're not trying to ruin someone's day in a way that doesn't help them. That's being honest with yourself. That's flowing with your spirit. And you could also contradict that as well, because you could say someone who's practicing racism is being honest with themselves and genuine with themselves, but that's the physical illusions that they're being honest with. Let me reword that. That's the physical illusions that they are creating within themselves because they don't know themselves. And so yeah. But if we're being honest with ourselves, religion doesn't make sense to spirit. Going grocery shopping doesn't make sense to the spirit. Or I'll say to spirit, not the spirit, it's spirit. Getting gas doesn't make sense to spirit. Watching television doesn't make sense to spirit. Watching sports doesn't make sense to spirit. You know, it's all these things that infatuate the ego and makes that ego feel like it belongs, because that ego's observation doesn't know who it is, doesn't know what I am that I am not, doesn't know that none of this exists beyond your observation. But even so, it still doesn't exist. Excuse me. Fuck. But growing up, for myself, I was always quiet, and there are reasons for that. I had a lot of trauma growing up into keeping myself from not speaking my voice. So even now, I'm still learning to express myself in more ways than one. And by me being honest with myself, that helps me grow into who I envision my character being. Sorry, I'm getting text messages, but you know what I'm saying? I have a long way to go. I'm only 21 years of age. Even though spiritually I have no age, physically I do. I'm not gonna come out here and say I'm lying to myself by telling myself that I have an age, but in this physical realm of illusions, I do, apparently. But I don't. I'm ageless. I'm infinite. I'm so infinite that I wouldn't even call myself infinite. And so, moving back onto the topic at hand, because I'm kind of going here, and I'm going here, and I'm going here, but that's kind of just the direction of this video. So, I asked myself, when I was first understanding my experience, I asked myself the question, and I'll even ask myself right now, if celebrities get to be at this position that majority of society isn't, what are these beings doing to get to this position? And that's when I realized they're not following their spirit, because by me growing up and being quiet, I slightly understood that things weren't really played out how they were in society and in this realm of consciousness. Not this realm of consciousness. Yeah, you could say that, but there's so many different dimensions that people reside within mentally and spiritually that I'll just say this realm of consciousness physically, because physically there is no physical. Okay, I understand now. But I always knew that things weren't adding up. Like, why does this person get to be this, but I gotta be this, and my mom gotta suffer, and my dad gotta suffer while this person gets this, and yeah, it never made sense. Never made sense to me. Never made sense to my ego, and it never made sense to my observation. But I didn't know any better because, you know what I'm saying? I was just a kid. And I really felt that when it came to interacting with others. And that's something I'm still learning to do now, because I always seen conversation, small talk as a waste of time. And I still do. I still do, because what are we gaining from this besides this script? We're just playing out this script. You know what I'm saying? This script that we've been programmed into doing through this title called Small Talk. This doesn't benefit you. This doesn't benefit me. We honestly don't give a fuck about talking to each other. We're just doing it because we're in our presence. And so that's another reason why I was quiet growing up, because I didn't see a point in getting into relationships early on. I didn't see a point in dabbling in drugs, mainly marijuana. I didn't see a point, because I wasn't really in tune with mushrooms at that time. Now I am, although I'm still growing into that. But I also had this stigma behind marijuana that I didn't grow out of until maybe about 2 years ago. You know, I was very programmed within my family that, you know, this is like, no. But then I started thinking for myself, and I started trying it. I started, you know, having my own thoughts on this spirit. And it's about how you use it. It's not about the stigma behind it, because the stigma behind it is just one perspective. You're gonna follow one perspective for the rest of your life? You're gonna be the same person for the rest of your life? If you want to, all kudos to you. You know what I'm saying? That's all to you. But you're gonna come right back to what you were in. You're gonna come back right to what you were comfortable being in. So yeah, I got off topic right there too, but that's, like I said, that's kind of the basis of this video. I'm just talking my thoughts, just speaking my thoughts. I'm sober right now, and I found that when I smoke marijuana or ingest it or eat it, consume it, whatever you want to call it, my thoughts become elevated, and even more so on mushrooms. I want to get to that level sober. So for my last couple of videos, I know I haven't uploaded in a week. I have been it's an excuse really at the end of the day, but I have just moved out. I am doing van life. I am trying to move states. I am trying to do all that while being with my partner, my wife. I don't call her my wife, but my divine feminine. And I have a little chihuahua. So it's been hard, you know, and a lot of things come with that too. A lot of things have come with that too, and just learning each other. and healing those traumatic wounds that come out within the relationship to further manifest our wants and desires and needs. So it's been difficult, I'm not gonna lie, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's so worth it. I love this. At times, man, like just being for real, at times I have some dark thoughts. But it's not I, it's me. Justin has some dark thoughts. I see above that. I see through that. I see underneath it. I see around it. I see over it. I see through it. Just being honest. And so I don't want to be the same. Like when I don't work out, when I don't do something physical in terms of movements, when I don't do something, my ego gets mad at myself. I've trained my ego to in that aspect, I can say I've trained my ego to want betterment for itself. Now, I'm gonna keep it a bug. I'm gonna keep it a stat. I can read more. I can have a notebook dedicated to vocabulary because I do want to expand my vocabulary. I do want to just understand the language that I speak. I want to formulate different sentences, formulate different perspectives, and that can be possible just through reading and vocabulary. And more research too. I've been slacking lately. I have been. And just being honest, just being transparent. You know, because that's the first step in growth. But yeah, I mean, ever since a child, I seen through it, but also at the same time, I didn't. And you know, I feel like that's normal. But you can, what's the word? You can awaken, if you want to call it that, or become just finding who you've always been, finding who you always, you can say both sides of the perspective, finding who you have always been and finding who you always have not been. The ego, higher self, spirit. But yeah, that's really all for this video. That's all I really got. I mean, yeah, that's it, you know. I just want, if I was gonna speak for myself, but I can speak for others too. If you want betterment for yourself, that's how you know you're following the path that you're meant to be on. That's how you know you love yourself, you know? And maybe that's not where maybe that's not the level of loving yourself you want at that current moment for your future, but it's about baby steps. It's about taking it day by day. How much you love yourself today will change tomorrow, and the next, and the next, and the next, and it can change too. Just like if you can only do one push-up one day, and you do one push-up to your max every single day, by the next year, you could do 100 push-ups. You could do 50 push-ups in a row. You know, it's about momentum. Momentum and consistency is how you create your future in the present moment through your thoughts. Because what you think creates your reality. And that's about it. Love y'all. Have a great day. And I hope you took something from this video. I I am working harder and harder to have better quality in my videos. I'm getting a new phone soon, so the video quality will be better. I need more storage, so it works out. My phone broke, actually. My phone, when I call, no one can hear me. And to be honest, I don't have the money right now for it, but it's coming. I already see my new phone. I see the quality in the videos that I have. I see the key points that I have. I see the bulletin points that I have. I see the different perspectives that I have. You know, I see it. I see the supporters. I see the love, and I give the love back to you. That's all I want. It's just love, man. It's not. There's nothing else behind this. It's just love. It's just authenticity. And there's a fly in here. But I love y'all. Have a great day. See ya.